JCF mourns sudden passing of police corporal. The Jamaica Constabulary Force JCF has been plunged into mourning following the sudden passing of Corporal Dalton Hemmings. Hemmings was assigned to the Center of Investigation of Sexual Offences and Crime Abuse, Sissoko. Reporters understand that Corporal Hemmings complained of not feeling well on Friday. He was taken to hospital where he later died. It is unclear what caused the corporal's sudden illness. Reporters gathered that the deceased was 1 week shy of completing 26 years of service to the GCF. Senior Superintendent and Head of Sissoko, Maldrea Jones-Williams, expressed sadness of the late officer's death and described him as one of the force's more experienced and hardworking members. 19 years old dies in West Marland bike crash. A 19-year-old man died after the motorcycle he was driving collided with a truck along the main road in Little London, West Marland, on Friday afternoon. This marks the parish's first fatal crash of the year. The deceased has been identified as Shoshoi Brown, also known as Tree, from the community. Reports from the police corporate communications unit state that around 4:30 p.m., Brown was driving his black motorcycle along the main road towards Little London when, upon reaching a section of the main road, Brown collided with a grey pickup truck. Brown reportedly sustained multiple injuries and was rushed to the hospital, where he died while undergoing treatment. The Road Safety Unit reported that Jamaica ended 2023 with 425 people being killed in crashes. That number marked a 10% decrease in fatalities compared to 2022. In 2022, a total of 488 fatalities were recorded on the nation's roadways. Constable who pepper-sprayed ex-cop freed. Garner Harrison, the police constable who pepper-sprayed a retired senior policeman during a traffic stop on Mullines Road in St. Andrew in 2019, has been acquitted. The retired Deputy Superintendent of Police, Mr. Campbell, was pepper-sprayed after he disobeyed constable's directive to exit his vehicle to be arrested. His son, who was in the passenger seat, was also pepper-sprayed. The exchange between Campbell and the constable was captured in an amateur telephone video. The cop was charged with 2 counts of assault occasioning actual bodily harm following a recommendation by Indicom on May 14, 2020. However, Harrison, who has been on suspension since the incident, was freed on Friday afternoon following submissions by his attorney. During the trial in Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court, his attorney submitted that his client acted in self-defense and in accordance with the Jamaica Constabulary Force Act. The lawyer argued that his client did not commit an offense based on the circumstances, explaining that the cop was attempting to arrest a motorist who committed several breaches of the Road Traffic Act. Presiding Judge Natalie Ebanks-Miller, prior to handing down her ruling, pointed out that the court failed to establish that the cop intentionally or recklessly assaulted both complainants. The judge said the incident occurred in the execution of the policeman's duties. St. James Mason chopped to death reportedly by a man of unsound mind. A St. James man was chopped to death allegedly by a man said to be of unsound mind in Adelphi last evening. Dead is 30-year-old Mason Romain Martin of Yorkland in Adelphi. Reports were that about 9:15 p.m., Martin was among a group of people sitting along the roadway when he was approached by the man who chopped him several times. Martin was taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead. PNP Shadow Cabinet, Hannah out, Campbell in, virtual news spokesperson for information. Opposition leader Mark Golding has announced a Shadow Cabinet reshuffle that he says is aimed at showcasing the diverse talent and extensive skill set presented within the party. The new Shadow Cabinet combines new faces in frontline politics alongside seasoned politicians, all ready to offer solutions to Jamaica's long-standing challenges, are released on Saturday read. Nikisha Burrell, the aspirant Member of Parliament for St. James Southern, has been named the opposition spokesperson on information and public communication. Lisa Honor, who had indicated that she would be stepping away from representational politics, but had also served as opposition spokesperson on foreign affairs and foreign trade, is not named in the new cabinet reshuffle. Golding said each other minister will be supported by a theme, including deputies to be named at a later date and their junior national cabinet counterparts. Former cricketer Wavell Hines, who was named the party's Deputy General Secretary in July 2023, is expected to take over the Labour and Sports Ministry, while Dr. Angela Brown Burke is expected to take over as the Chala Minister for Foreign and Regional Affairs. Dayton Campbell is now the new spokesperson on agriculture and land. PNP urges mask wearing amid rising flu cases. People's National Party PNP Julia Chala Minister for Health and Wellness Jess James Clark is reminding Jamaicans that mask wearing is still an option, especially as the island grapples an increase in respiratory illnesses. In a recent interview to reporters, Clark emphasized that wearing a mask is one of the easiest ways individuals can protect themselves from flu viruses. As you know, this time of the year we normally see an increase in flu-related illnesses and respiratory illnesses as a whole. So I'm imploring all Jamaicans to wear a mask, especially in crowded or poorly ventilated areas, he said. It is one of the easiest things you can do to physically protect yourself from contracting the flu virus circulating at this time of the year. Clark expressed particular concern for vulnerable groups and urged Jamaicans to take personal responsibility for protecting their groups. I am also asking persons who are part of the vulnerable group, persons who have chronic respiratory illnesses like the asthmatics, and so on, to ensure that they do everything they can to protect themselves from the virus at this time of the year, he shared. COVID is still out there as well. If you're ill, stay home. We don't want to end up with a case where we have overcrowding in hospitals because they are already struggling under the regular day-to-day pressure that they are facing. Meanwhile, the Junior National Minister expressed hope that the government have learned lessons from dealing with the COVID and is prepared to provide oxygen at an increased rate this flu season. 47-year-old carpenter fined $450,000 for possession of cocaine. A 47-year-old carpenter from Windsor Castle in Portland pleaded guilty to violations of the Dangerous Drug Act and was fined $450,000 or sentenced to 9 months in prison with hard labor. The judgment was delivered at the Corporate Area Parish Court on Friday. He is Mark Spencer of Newland District in Windsor Castle. Spencer was slapped with the fine by the parish court judge following an April 23, 2021 incident in which 0.2 kg of cocaine was reportedly found in his possession after lawmen searched a Toyota Succeed motor car he was driving. The fine was made during an operation by the Narcotics Police on Mountain View Avenue in Kingston. Spencer was fined $150,000 or 3 months imprisonment for the possession of cocaine and $300,000 or 6 months in prison for dealing in cocaine. Hobbled by leg injury, Sinclair bats for the disabled. A foot injury that left him using a crutch for the last few weeks has shown Government Senator Charles Sinclair just how important it is for him and other councillors in St. James to ensure that buildings in the parishes are in compliance with the Disabilities Act. He has therefore vowed that they will ramp up their efforts in 2024. The first and immediate thing is to get the inspections done and done as quickly as possible so that they can make varied assessments and recommendations, he told reporters on Thursday. Under the legislation, public buildings and commercial buildings should install features that allow for greater access for the disabled. Sinclair, who is also an attorney, noted the challenges people have been faced with disabilities in accessing buildings such as the St. James Parish Court. At the courthouse, they've put in a ramp that takes you up to the ground floor, but all the courtrooms are upstairs, with the exception of the Western Regional Gun Court and one that is used by the Justices of the Peace sometimes. Those are the only rooms which are accessible to persons who have physical disabilities, the senator pointed out. He said it has been painful to watch individuals with physical challenges attempt to access some areas. I've seen persons come to court and they're in a wheelchair and they have to sit down and wait until some friend or family or other come to take them up the stairs, Sinclair lamented. Now the problem has become personal for him. I am going there on the 8th of January. My cast is off presently, but I'm advised to use the crutch for another couple of weeks, and I'm wearing an ankle brace to give support to the area that was injured, he revealed. His experience next Monday may likely shape what he say to his peers 3 days later at the Municipal Corporation's first monthly meeting for the 2024. Sinclair said while he hopes that both the public and private sectors will ensure that buildings are compliant, he also recognizes the Municipal Corporation has to step up its enforcement. It was an issue he raised at the last meeting held in 2023 when his leg injury was fresh. I am asking the council to act because the council can send around their building officers to these public buildings and to identify improvements that they expect to make, and that's why I brought it up there, he said. He is hoping to see major changes, especially at facilities where individuals need to access justice. What I anticipate should come from it going into this year is that the Council is going to communicate with the Court Management Services and the Ministry of Justice in respect to making some adjustments so that better access is facilitated for people with disabilities, Sinclair explained. The attorney said he has also begun rallying his legal counterparts on the issue. I have raised the issue with the administrator of the courthouse and have raised it with the president of the Cornwall Bar Association and other members of the executive of the Cornwall Bar to ask them to raise their voices in respect to improving the aspect of access to the courtrooms, which are upstairs for persons who suffer physical disabilities and can't really go up the stairs, he stated. He also wants other changes that will make access easier for the visible challenge. These include having cages built around fire hydrants located on sidewalks. He pointed out that these could potentially trip up the visually impaired. Sinclair also wants to issue the defective manholes covered address. The manhole covers, the areas that have broken sidewalks, those will soon get some attention. You hear the mayor saying that they're doing sidewalk improvement in respect to a couple of areas in the downtown area, he promised. The Disabilities Act came into full effect on February 14, 2022. It was passed in Parliament in October 2014, and the regulations were later affirmed in both Houses of Parliament in October 2021. The Act was developed to promote, protect, and ensure the full and equal enjoyment of persons with disabilities of privileges, interests, benefit, and treatment on equal basis with others, and to establish the Jamaica Council for Persons with Disabilities and for Connected Matters. Its main objectives include recognizing and accepting the principle that persons with disabilities have the same fundamental rights as any other person, promoting individual dignity, freedom of choice and independence of persons with disabilities, and preventing or prohibiting discrimination against persons with disabilities. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.